Hey guys, welcome back to the Wolterman Homestead. It's Megan.
And it's Dylan.
And today we are going to talk our way through and show you guys how to grow your own mushrooms. We did a test run the other day to see if it would work and how it would work. So it did, and we were pretty excited about it. If you haven't watched it, the HOA Last Thoughts giveaway video, I'll leave a little tab up above, kind of talks about the whole us meeting the guy and what got us into growing mushrooms. So I'll leave that information above, but I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. All right, guys, I'm really excited to show you guys and guide you through with our mushroom experiment that we're doing. Basically, what I'll be doing next is I will be drilling some more holes. Initially in our test run, we went ahead and drilled 5 of these plugs in a straight line, 3 inches apart. Now what I'm going to end up doing with the log is I'm going to go diagonal across all the way around the log, and this will spread out the mushrooms and give it a pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, what we're going to do next is I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my setup and what I got going on. A lot of the videos that we've watched, and especially the one in particular, HOA, they had a special auger bit that they used. I don't have one of those, so I used my engineering skills and I came up with a solution. Basically, I got my handy dandy cordless drill here, and I have a 11/26 drill bit. And what I ended up doing also is I put a 1/4 inch pipe clamp on that, and I measured for the width of distance of my holes is 1 1/4 inches. And I say that because the plugs are 1 inch, so the extra 1/4 inch is going to give us a little bit of a cushion to put our wax on top of it. And last but not least, I have a fender washer that'll be my stopper, so when I'm drilling my holes, I have a stopping point. Alright, so moving on, I wanted to tell you guys about the wood. Basically, you do not want to use any soft woods. I'm not a tree expert, but the soft woods are not a good environment per se for the plugs, because they'll decay faster than what you would want. What I do have is a hardwood. Hardwoods are great. If you go online, you could probably find a good hardwood estimation. What I'm using is oak, and this is wood that we've had for a while sitting on the wood pile. I think probably a couple years, so it's been cured, and this is the kind of wood that we are using for our plugs. So now I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes. What I will be doing is, we have already our main holes here that we drilled. There's 5 of them. They're about 3 inches apart from one another. That's how we started them. The rest of the holes I'm going to go ahead and do diagonally around the log, all the way around, evened out. And we'll go ahead and we'll get started drilling.
So is the setup of how I am melting this wax. This mason jar I used for the plantain sap, so this is just now the designated jar. So this is melted now. I'm going to take it out. But it's just a pot with hot water. And basically you just kind of give it a water bath. But let's go put some wax on some mushrooms. So these plugs, as he's doing that, are from Windermere Farms. I'll leave a link down below. But this bag of 100 Marquette Shiitake plugs was just $15. They do have different varieties of mushrooms available. It was just what they had left kind of at HOA. And then they also have logs already done what we're doing. I want to say for like $30 is what they had at HOA. But I'll leave a link for them down below in the description. But so now let's cover these up. So he's got a glass jar with some wax. Basically, you want to use kind of a food grade sort of wax. The guy had recommended that you don't use beeswax though, because beeswax breaks down quickly over time compared to other waxes. He really recommended cheese wax, because cheese wax, you know, you can get it in red, and you know, if you have a wood burning stove and you have a whole bunch of logs with little mushrooms, sometimes you can overlook them easily. So that if you had, you know, a white or red cheese wax over the top, harder. It's cool out here, so I don't think it should take long for them to solidify, or harden, I guess is the word I should say. But if you had like a red wax over the top, it'd be more easy to identify. These were the plugs that we did the first time around. Here. I'll show how I just melted the wax. He had like a small crock pot set up. So if you have a larger operation, you can do that pretty easily. There you have it. Whoops.
Okay, I just also came across an awesome idea.
What?
When you guys do this too, make sure that you have your plugs down past the top of the log. Reason I say that is because that way, if you go ahead and put your wax in, the wax will settle in that hole instead of running off everywhere. So it's a lot easier to give yourself a little bit of a crater on top, like that 1/4 inch, so that way the wax settles in there great and it closes off and keeps the plug completely concealed, so nothing can get in and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean though? Like,
Yeah,
I
get what
need
you're
to
saying.
drill. I need to drill deeper.
I would say go ahead and put more wax on these though.
Okay.
He's gonna add more wax to those. It was colder today than it was the other day, and it will harden a little bit faster and maybe a little more solid. The guy also recommended that you want to try and keep these moist and you want to keep them shaded. So like wintertime, you know, if they were out in their natural element, they would just be fine. You wouldn't need to do anything to them. He did recommend though that in the summertime you just keep them shaded. So like a greenhouse black cloth you could just throw over the top of it to keep it shaded. And then you want to keep them moist, so you can just like throw them in some water. Some mushroom places have like ponds, and they'll just throw theirs in some ponds for a couple hours and then pull them back out so they have some moisture. You just let the mushrooms grow until the log totally decomposes, and then you can throw the log with the mushrooms on your compost pile. So there you have it. How to start your own mushrooms. But don't know if you noticed, as we are creating these mushroom growing logs of our awesome shirts from Overlook Valley Homestead. If you guys are not following Overlook Valley Homestead or haven't heard about them, go check them out. I'll leave a link down below. The owners of Overlook Valley Homestead are Mark and Sarah. They're great people, down to earth. They have some really, really good videos. They do have cows. So Sarah posts videos on making cheese and, you know, how to do dairy and things like that. She's got some awesome canning videos. She actually just did a video the other day of pumpkin and how she canned pumpkin from her garden. And then Mark has some really neat videos as well. He built this giant bonfire grill pit thing, and then they had family out, but like it's really neat to see how he did that. So go check him out. So yeah, thanks for joining us today in this video. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.